Hi you guys, welcome back to the Moms. We are so excited to be back with you guys, and we have a new face. We are having the most incredible guest on our show. Her name is Angie. You guys give her a lot of love. Katilette unfortunately is sick. She can't be here today, and so of course we have to give her an excuse. There's a lot of crap going around right now. It's just like those winter blues. And stay tuned because Angel actually has a topic. She's gonna pop in and say what's up from California, and we're gonna answer some questions and topics that she has brought to the show.
Yes, exciting day.
Yeah, so many things, all the things are happening. So without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to Miss Angie.
Hi.
She's beautiful. I met her at CrossFit, actually. I walked in and she's just doing pull-ups, all this stuff. I'm like, I can't even do that. She's so strong. She's amazing. She's going to tell us her story today, and Kayli and I are just going to sit back and
be inspired.
Yeah. We're so happy to have you here. Thanks for being here on our show. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want me to tell you about my accident?
Yeah, tell us all the things.
Everything.
We want the dirty details, all the things.
Okay, so when I was 16, I was in a car accident that left me paralyzed from the waist down. There was 8 of us in the Suburban, and none of us miraculously were killed. We were coming home from Raging Waters in Salt Lake, and the driver lost control of the vehicle, and it flipped end over end 4 to 5 times. I wasn't wearing my seatbelt and was ejected out the back as it was rolling forward. So I was in the path of the Suburban and it rolled over me. So really, I'm actually really lucky to be even alive.
Right.
So none of us were killed. My injuries were the worst. I was in the hospital for 7 weeks in Utah, and I live in Idaho. So that was hard. But my parents were there with me all 7 weeks, and then went back to high school, and life just went on.
Right.
And then graduated from high school, went to beauty school in Utah.
That's why her hair is so cute and stylish.
Yeah. And met my first husband, and we got married, and I have a daughter from that marriage, and she's 12, and she's amazing. And I was a single mom with a disability for almost 5 years before I met my current husband. And he has 4 kids, and I have 1. So now I'm a mom of 5.
That's
Never
awesome.
would have dreamed that would have happened ever.
I swear when it rains, it pours in like almost everything you do,
Yeah.
you know? It's like, no one, go from 1 kid to 5 kids.
No,
That's kind
it's
of
insane.
like, I don't recommend it. It's kind of the best. So is your daughter adapting well to like the mixed family situation?
Yeah, she's done amazingly well. She has a younger sister that's just 4 months younger than her, and they look almost like they could be biological sisters.
Yeah.
So people thought they were twins when they were little. So
Yeah.
no, it's been really good for her.
That's awesome. So now she has like a buddy and a sister
Yeah.
all in one. That's incredible.
So do you still do hair?
I just do friends and family's hair.
Okay.
With having 5 kids and way too busy to work in a salon right now.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. So tell us about CrossFit. Why did you, and this isn't like a CrossFit push, I'm not like trying to baptize any of you. Kayli's like, I'm the only one who doesn't do CrossFit. It's not a cult, but it's so cool because Angie goes, like, you go 5 times a week, 6 times a week?
5 times.
I can like barely make it maybe twice if I'm feeling like it's a good week because it's so hard. But why, like what made you get into CrossFit and decide?
So before my accident, I was really athletic. I played basketball, and that was what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to try and get a scholarship to play basketball somewhere and just go on from there. And so when my accident happened, I kind of lost that in myself. I lost that purpose. I lost that athlete. I didn't know how to find that again.
Right.
And after having 5 kids, I lost it even more.
Yeah.
And so I've tried, doing marathons and playing tennis and playing wheelchair basketball, but it just wasn't me.
Yeah.
I couldn't find something that I felt connected to and connected to the people.
Right.
So Nichelle, who's a trainer there, she was my massage therapist. So she got me involved with it, started training me, and then I started going to the classes and just love the connection with the people, the sense of community that it brings. And it also helps me feel like I'm an athlete again, which for me was something that I've been missing since my accident, which was almost 22 years ago. So
You do not look like 22 years since 16. Don't do the math. We're not doing that.
No, it's fine.
That's insane. There is something about, like, I feel like our class especially, and maybe there's like bad CrossFit classes out there, but I do feel like our community is really supportive and everyone's just, it's like fun to go, you know, because everyone, it's kind of like dying separately on their own workouts. And so nobody's like judging you or, but I do like our workout class. I think it's like a good support. I always feel good after we're done. So we're going to kind of like get a little deeper if you're okay, but how, like, in your mind, do you feel like, I mean, obviously this was very life-changing. Everything that you once knew had to change. You had to kind of learn a new way of life. How have you, like, remained positive? Because I feel like you're always happy. You show up. She looks, like, beautiful when she comes to CrossFit, and she's just, like, more put together, and everything's, like, perfect. How do you stay motivated, and how do you, you know, remind yourself that, you know, through the lows and the highs of it all?
Through the lows and highs. I try not to have too many lows and highs. And, you know, when I do have those lows, I realize, let myself recognize that I'm having a hard time, that it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks being in a wheelchair, you know, for 22 years. I've been in a wheelchair longer now than I was able to walk.
Right.
So it's hard. So I let myself have those moments, but I don't let myself stay there. I try to focus on, you know, what I do have. That things could be a lot worse. I could not have the use of my arms. You know, I could not be able to do what I am able to do, which I'm so grateful for. I mean, somebody has it much worse than I do, and I'm just so grateful for what I do have. So I try to focus on the positive.
Yeah.
And having kids helps a lot too, because you can, you know, focus on them. Right. Instead of focusing on yourself and what's wrong with you, you can help them discover what's right with them. Right. So
it is very disturbing. I don't know, something about taking care of other people just makes you forget about yourself sometimes, and it's like you're living for a bigger purpose than yourself. But I really like how you said that you allow yourself to have that moment, because I feel like that, you know, I think emotion is healthy in any range that we experience it. If you're feeling sad, I think it's healthy to experience that emotion and go through that sadness and kind of maybe give yourself a day. Maybe you just need a day to stay in your pajamas or eat chocolate or not feel guilty for feeling bad about yourself, because we all have those highs and lows of life. But I think that what you said is like so key, is that the goal is not to stay there, because that's when it can get, you know, really, I think, life sucking is like what I like to call it. It's like it's sucking me in to feel this way. And so I think as long as you like experience that emotion but don't dwell there and then you move on, that's when it's healthy, because you'll know the good from the bad, you know, and I think that's really, really important.
Right.
So incredible. So amazing.
Yeah.
And CrossFit has given me that outlet too. Like some days I'm just really pissed.
Yeah.
Like
She's like, I have a lot of built up anger.
So I can take that to the gym, you know, and work it out.
I'm going to see that look in your eye. I'm like, don't get in Angie's way. She's mad today. She needs to vent it out.
She hates her wheelchair today, so just leave her alone.
And you know, I like that you were honest with that. I feel like that is so, like, I can tell you're a very honest, genuine person, because I'm sure sometimes you feel like you have to act to be into this character of like, everything's okay, because that's what you radiate, I feel like. So I think it's good to be honest, and you know, sometimes it's good to be like, yeah, this does suck, but you're doing such an incredible job. And I mean,
my day.
Yeah, we all do. But I love what you said, like you should always be grateful for what you do have, because somebody really truly always does have it worse.
Right.
It's motivated me not to complain anymore, because I'm like, at least I have all, you know, I'm like, I constantly am like obsessed with working out and not eating bad, and I'm like, you know what, that's like the least of my worries. I should just be grateful for health in general.
Right. Well, thank you so much for being here. You're so inspiring. And like we mentioned, Angel is going to be a part of this episode. We're so excited. And she has brought us a topic all the way from California, and I thought it was very fitting for today's episode. So let's hear from Angel.
Hi guys, I miss you so much. I do. I wish I was sitting on the couch beside you all. Well, kind of, because it's like 90-degree weather here in California, but I do wish I could see your faces. I miss you guys. And hi Angie, so nice to meet you via the camera. I'm so excited to be a part of this episode because I have been having this topic burning inside of me for a while now, and I want to get you all's thoughts on it. So first, let me start off by saying I am doing a speaking tour this year with a conference called MommyCon. And what MommyCon is, it's a convention or a conference where parents can come and learn more about natural parenting techniques like breastfeeding, cloth diapering, baby wearing. And the CEO or founder of the conference found me via a video, and she asked if I would be a part of their 2016 tour of the United States and speak to these parents. And I'm really excited. I've already done my first one. And the reason why they brought me was because they wanted me to be able to bring some funny to the conference. But I also want to make sure I'm imparting something to these moms and these dads. So I've been talking to my best friend, trying to get my speech as well, I guess, articulated as possible. And in one of our conversations, we began to talk about passion and purpose. The reason why we started talking about it is because as moms, a lot of times our passion and our purpose start to get buried underneath all the things we do for our families. If we're married, what we're doing with our husband as well, or our spouse. And a lot of times it takes us a while, and sometimes never, to tap back into that thing that gave us so much drive before having kids. And personally, I feel like it is so important for us to find time to do that. You know, for some people it's like, you know, I just have to have time to relax, get my nails painted, my toes painted. And while that I feel like is important, you should pamper yourself, I do feel like it's even more important to not forget that thing that's in us that drives us forward. Because, you know, one day our kids will grow up and they'll leave, and we don't want to, I guess, forget the things that make us tick outside of them. Like for instance, I found out at a very young age that I am an entertainer. That is my passion, and I feel like it's very linked to my purpose. I like to be able to get someone's attention, hold their attention, and make them feel a certain way, whether it be happy, whether it be cathartic, whatever it is. I like being able to use my talents to be able to take a person out of their current condition or mental space and move them to another mental space. Like, I feel like that is something that I've been gifted to be able to do, and it's a part of my passion, and I believe it's a part of my purpose. I believe that it was put in me to do that. So I guess my question for you all is, one, how would you help someone, or what advice would you give to someone to help them find their passion or their purpose? And I guess two is, do you think passion and purpose are linked? I personally think it is. I feel like you become passionate about something because your purpose is driving you towards that, if that makes sense. So do you all agree? Do you think passion and purpose are intertwined or closely, you know, matched up? And I guess my last question, and you don't have to answer all three, is, what is your passion? And you cannot say, my children. Now, granted, yes, we're all passionate about our children. They are blessings. I love them. But what is your passion outside of them? Because we were all women, regardless of how young we were, before we became mothers. And we were ticking human beings, moving, making things happen prior to that. So what is your passion? I want to know. Don't cop out and just say children. I want to know. All right. Take it away, ladies.
So I agree with Angel. Like, sometimes it's hard to find your purpose, and we lose a little bit of ourselves when we become mothers because we're giving so much, which is such a blessing, like she mentioned. But how do you guys find your purpose and remind yourself of your purpose and your passions, and how do you live that in your daily life?
Yeah.
Or are you?
I'm like, do you want to start this one off? I'm like, I think that's a never ending journey.
Yes, I agree.
Because Angel touched on something. She said, you can't say that being a mom is your purpose, but that's hard for me because I feel like in life you go through stages, and each one of those stages for me, I've had different purposes. Mm-hmm. In college, it was obviously like I was all about cheerleading, and and then I got married. It was about being a mom, and then I had Cooper, and it was like even more so. Like, I really felt the best about myself when I felt like I was being a good mom. And so that motivated me. And now, that my life I feel like is complete in a sense. My purpose has just grown even more to being a better mother and a better wife and a better housekeeper. And those things make me feel like I have something to get up and to do every day. Mm-hmm. But I think that YouTube is a great way for me to kind of like share my experiences and to have purpose, I guess, but some days I still don't even know if that's like the thing of my life. Maybe it's just my personality because I'm so ADD that I can't just choose one thing. But does that make sense? Like, I don't think it's bad to be like that. Being a mom is your purpose, but I know what she's saying. Like,
Yeah,
that
she just wanted us to think
you.
outside of that because
Yeah.
I think all of us would say my purpose is to be a mom.
Yeah.
Like, because that is the thing that we love, and that's the dearest to my heart, I know, and I'm sure you guys too. But I think it's good to remember who we are outside of being a mom.
Yeah.
And that's really hard to do, especially when you're so busy with 5 kids, you know? So how do you feel like you are reminded of your purpose and your passions?
Well, in our church, we get to have callings where we serve other people, and I get to serve the youth and serve with the youth. And so that, and the young women, so from 18 until 12, I get to serve with them, and that helps me keep young.
Yeah.
Like, it helps me to see them and see their lives and realize what they go through on a daily basis is completely different than what we went through when we were growing up as teenagers.
Does that make you feel old to say that? Like, back when I was young, but it's true.
It doesn't. It doesn't make me feel old. It makes me feel grateful for.
You're like, I'm so glad I didn't have to
yeah,
go through
I'm so glad I don't have to go through what they have to go through. So it helps me to realize that on top of being a mom, but I can be a mentor for young women.
Yeah.
And so that helps me feel purpose in my role as a woman. And then also as an athlete, like I said, going to CrossFit has helped me find purpose in not losing myself for my kids.
Right.
You know, I'm doing this for me. This is something that I'm doing for me to help me feel better about myself. And that may sound really selfish, but it's okay. It's okay for me to do something for myself.
Yeah.
And I also think it's good for your kids to see you do something for you.
Right.
You know, even if CrossFit is hard.
Oh my gosh.
You know,
I haven't tried it.
there's some days when you go into the gym and you look at the workout and you're like, right.
Yeah, exactly. Your reaction.
I have to do 100 pull-ups. Right.
Don't let her fool you. She does them all. I'm like, Angie, you're killing us. You're so great.
So, you know, and to bring your kids in there and to let them watch you struggle and not give up, I think that is a great example for them to see moms struggle and get through it.
Yeah.
You know, so that maybe when they're in a situation that's hard, they can look back on that and, you know, find courage.
Right. Like, my mom did hard things.
Yeah.
I can do hard things. That's so awesome. You have all the answers.
I know. I'm like,
We just need her here all the time.
good. I think Angel asked the question, is your purpose and your passion, you know, it's kind of the same. And I was thinking about, what are my passions? My passions are my family. My passion is doing hair and makeup. I love that. I've loved that ever since I was a little girl. And crafting. Those are things that I really, really love. And thinking of those things, I was trying to find my purpose in that. And I think my purpose is teaching. I've always loved teaching. Even when I was doing hair, I always loved to teach my clients how to style it, or to teach my clients what might make their hair look thicker or more beautiful.
Right.
Because I like making people feel good. So I think that if I were to say what my purpose was, is maybe like teaching and making people feel good about themselves. When I did hair, and maybe you feel this way, I had a hard time charging sometimes because the look on my client's face when they felt good, when I turned them around and said, "You're done," was like all that I needed.
Yeah.
And I had a hard time charging for that. I was like, okay, that's free today, because it made me feel so good. And I think, like you said, like serving others, it's all kind of the same thing. And I think,
Connected. Yeah.
when we make our purpose about other people, I think it's so rewarding for us.
Yeah. That it almost doesn't feel like a job.
It feels kind of selfish.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So I think what you were saying about service is great for your kids to see you serve outside the home.
Right. Yeah.
You know, then they get out of their own selfish way of thinking. Like, this day and age, kids are so entitled.
Right.
So to get out and serve others and even take them along and have them serve with you, I think is a great opportunity for them to experience how it makes you feel to serve.
Yeah, I agree. Like you were saying, the kids now are so different, and I feel like it wasn't that long ago. It was like when social media and everyone got phones, it was like a line drawn in the sand. And these children are so different that we have to take the time to teach them to serve and teach them to not give up when things get hard. We have to teach our kids to be passionate about things, because I think that passion is being shifted and changed and put in the wrong places.
Yeah. When I do choreography camps in the summer. I used to be a cheerleader, and it's kind of grown into this like little miniature business. And it's like a part of me still loves it, because I feel like that's a part of me that's I'm still passionate about. I love teaching, and I just see these kids, and I remember when we were like cheered and danced or whatever, we were passionate. Like, we wanted to be good. We wanted to work hard for our coaches. But now I feel like when I coach and I teach these kids and I show up, it's almost like there's an element missing of like they want to work hard. And I don't know if it's this generation or what, but it's so hard to want that for them. And so I think that like whenever I come back home from these camps, I'm always like trying to push Cooper and drive him to want that. But I think like what you guys kind of both touch on is the best thing we can do for our kids. It really is just be those examples, because it's like, I can't even remember the saying now, and maybe you guys can help me down in the comments, but it's like, I'll remember what you do and not what you say, you know, because we're constantly yelling at our kids, do this, do that, smile, use your manners, whatever. But I feel like sometimes the strongest way to teach is by example.
Right.
And I think having passion and serving and thinking outside yourself, you know, will help teach our children and kind of put them along that path of, you know, there's something more for you out there. When you were talking, though, I could definitely see how it's really easy to confuse your passions with your purpose. And I think maybe something for me is I haven't really totally found my purpose, because there's so many things. But I am passionate about being a mom and a wife. But you know, what is your purpose and how do you distinguish that from your passion? Good topic, Angel. I love it.
I also think, though, it's okay to find purpose in so many things. I don't think that you have to find purpose in one thing. Like you were saying, like you love this thing, you love that thing. I think it's great to find purpose in everything.
I wanted to be an astronaut, but now I don't have to anymore.
But if you want to, you can.
I can be an astronaut?
Yes. And you know, we're talking a lot about how kids are different. And I know a lot of you guys, our viewers, are kids, and we know that there are so many amazing kids doing amazing things, because the challenges of the world has made a lot of the youth like so much stronger.
Right.
So, you know, we're not like knocking anyone down by saying
you kids out there,
you kids, you need to find your passion and be responsible. But I think that kids are amazing, and they need to just be guided in the right way. Like,
yeah.
Because there are a lot of amazing kids out there.
And I think, like, it's good to fail at things. And that sounds like I like how you said that. But, like, it's good to, I think you can only really find what you love when you try a bunch of things. And I've always told Cooper, like, you can try whatever you want to do. You know, you want to be a cheerleader, you want to be a football player, you want to be a chess player. I don't care what it is you do, but you're going to commit to whatever it is, and you're going to stick with it to the end. And then at the end, if you decide you don't want to do it anymore, you can be done. So I think while you're finding your passions and your purposes, don't be afraid to fail at something that maybe you thought you liked or that you were good at. Don't be hard on yourself. I do that to myself all the time. I'm like, oh, I'm just not as good at decorating as I thought, so I want to immediately quit. But it's like, that doesn't mean it's not not for you. Just find something else and kind of put your energy there. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I also think, like you were saying, I think it's a journey that you continue on.
Yeah.
So don't like think that you have found your purpose and that's it. Like, keep exploring, even if you found that inside of yourself, you can always find your purpose and your passion for other things.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to start cooking.
Yeah.
And then I'm really going to find a purpose.
I want to be a pastry chef. Are you good at pastries and baking, like cookies and cakes?
I like to bake, yes.
We should just have a day where we do like bake like all the things, you know? That'd be fun. I want to learn how to make macaroons and cute little cupcakes with like sparkle frosting. Like something cool like that would be fun.
Yeah, I agree.
But then it's like one of those things that I try and it like melts, or I frost it too fast and it melts. I'm like, I'm not a good chef. It's like, be patient.
I think also, like, you can find your purpose and your passion in something that you're not an expert at. Like, I really love to craft. I am
so
not the best.
Whatever, she's so
I
good.
don't have a crafting room and machines, but I love it, and I want other people to know that you don't have to be the best at something to have a passion for it and a purpose for doing it.
Yeah.
So that is something else that I really want everyone to know.
Such a
is you
good
don't
point.
have to be the best. You can just love what you're doing.
That's another hard thing with social media, because there's so much out there that we're constantly comparing ourselves. And so I feel like it's easy to look at something someone else is doing, like, well, I don't look like that. I didn't do it that way. But just be you, boo-boo, and do the best you can. Real great advice.
With that, I think we need to remember that nobody is perfect, and the end result of what you're seeing on social media has probably been done several times to get to that point.
A lot of filters.
Yeah, so it's just, to the youth, I wish they didn't compare themselves, you know, so much to what they see, because it's not usually...
It's not picture perfect like we think
reality.
it is.
Yeah, it's not the real thing. Good point.
Yeah, this
Don't
was
take it
such a
for
good
yourself.
episode.
Yay,
I feel
motivated.
Like very inspired by you, and thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, we'll have to have you back for sure.
I know, Colette, I'm sure will be sad she missed this
I know.
You know what? It's so interesting to hear what you all feel like your passions are. Angie, it's great getting to know you, and I think it's wonderful that even with what happened to you in your past, you still found a way to reconnect to the things that make you feel good, to make you feel like you are, I guess, imparting into yourself. And the fact that you found it in CrossFit, I just think is amazing. And Miss Carlie, I think, yes, you can have several different things that your passion is being able to live through. I completely agree with Kayli. I don't think it has to be through one thing. But I know there's more in you. You are a coach. I feel like your purpose is so linked to that. I think your purpose is so linked to being able to take a person from the level that they're at and help them move to a higher level in themselves. You should look into that, Miss Carlie. You got some purpose in that coaching. And then, of course, Kayli, of course you're a teacher. You're absolutely a teacher. Goodness gracious. And you are, like you said, it's about the service sometimes. And I feel like everybody's purpose is pretty much connected to a service. Because if we're not, I guess, connected to the rest of the world in some form or fashion, then why are we here? Why? You know? I mean, I'm doing YouTube so that I can live out my purpose of entertaining people. At least I hope I'm entertaining people. All right, ladies. Again, it was so great to be with you guys. I can't wait to be with you all in person, and that is going to happen soon, so don't you all worry. And it's good to see you all, viewers. It's been so long. I miss you guys so much.
You guys keep the conversation going. Make sure you guys give Angie all the love down in the comments below. Angel, thank you so much for that topic. It really inspired me to draw the line on my passions and my purposes. I think I really needed that. So thanks, girl. We love you. Thanks, you guys, for tuning in and watching The Mom's View. Make sure you guys tweet us. You can always ask us more questions. #UseTMVTalk. And check us out on Instagram. You know, all the socials. We're always there. But we love you guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.